having you imagine if you've never seen what a sunset looks like. Imagine that you've never seen a tree or a bird or your own pet, or even worse, that you've never seen what a human being looks like. You wouldn't even be able to see your own children. Many people in our world today have never seen any of these things. Thanks to medical science, some of those that have been blind to the things around them may be able to see again for the first time ever, and that's because of eye donation and corneal transplants. I'm going to go ahead and discuss the basic principles of eye donation with a brief history, the process, the efforts of all of those involved, and the multiple benefits of eye donation. The information I share comes from my 5 years experience as a donor center coordinator at a local eye foundation, as well as from local research from other eye banks in America. A brief history and general process and the multiple benefits of eye donation. The history of eye donation, I got this from OldDominionEyeFoundation.org. It's a website they have out there. Scientists began research of sight restoration around the 18th century. Artificial tissue was used first, and they were very quick to realize that only human tissue would actually be successful. According to Old Dominion Eye Foundation, the first eye bank was established in New York in 1944. The first eye bank in Virginia was established in 1957. MCV, or Medical College of Virginia, went on to start their own eye bank that's just shortly thereafter. And then again, the first eye bank that was in Virginia, they reorganized in 1962, and they are now known as Old Dominion Eye Foundation, and they have offices in Richmond, Fairfax, and Roanoke. This is just a brief history. Now I'm going to tell you a little information regarding the general effort, the processes included in the eye donation effort. The donation process, much of my information is from personal experience, like I said, but I also interviewed Susan Wilson, who is the branch manager at Old Dominion Eye Foundation, just to get a little up-to-date information since I haven't been there in the last few years. They have a notification system. The hospital has 1 hour after the patient's time of death to contact an organ procurement agency. The organ procurement agency then notifies the eye bank of the death. And at that point, either the organ procurement agency or the eye bank will contact the next of kin regarding the donation process. Next, there is a medical review performed. A thorough patient chart review is performed to go through your history and if there's any infections going on in the background. Another thing they look at is the circumstances of the death. If foul play is expected, you may have to contact the medical examiner for special permissions on whether or not you can even proceed with the donation. Then a medical social history is reviewed. It's similar to the blood donation questionnaire that you would be asked, and these questions are asked to the next of kin. The next step would be obtaining legal consent. The first thing that you do is the donor registry will be checked. And that's only if the patient is going to be a suitable donor. They would not go ahead and check the registry if they aren't suitable for donation. The next of kin is called to obtain consent. Even if the patient is on the donor registry, they go ahead and contact the next of kin just out of courtesy to the grieving family. Legal consent is then recorded and archived at the eye bank. And finally, the procurement of the tissue. A recovery technician is called out to the location to where the patient is at, whether it be the morgue, the funeral home, the medical examiner's office. They can go many different places to do this. Either a whole eye enucleation or a corneal excision is performed within 24 hours of the time of death. The whole eye or the cornea is preserved and it's shipped to the location for the research or the transplant. Sometimes eye surgeons will call to request the whole eye if they have an upcoming surgery or whatnot that they want to practice on. They will call the eye bank and ask them to go ahead and ship it to their office. Now that I've spoken on just the basics of the eye donation process, I'm going to tell you some of the benefits that are with this. For the research, I mean, that's a benefit. The whole eyes are for research only. Like I said, many surgeons, they will practice on the whole eye whenever they have a big procedure coming up. Also, the whole lives are used for disease study, treatments and cures for blindness. All of those are research using the whole eye from a human. Another benefit would be the transplants. Corneal transplants have a 95% success rate, and those who have never seen again, they can have partial, if not full sight restoration. And according to lifegift.org, the donor manual, another benefit is for the grieving families. The donation helps families deal with the tragic loss, and it lets the families know that their loved one's gift of eye donation provided an improvement of the quality of life for another that was in need. In conclusion, I hope I've informed everybody all about how the eye bank started, the coordinated efforts of the hospital staff, the donor center staff, as well as the procurement staff. I've seen all four sides of the donation process, from the different points of view of the donor center coordinator, the tissue recovery team, as well as the hospital staff, and as far as being on the side of the grieving family. And this is just a brief glimpse into the donation process. Thank you.